Good morning, everyone. We are pleased to present our topic, Singapore, a gateway to Asia's economic success. Prepared by Gian Kramer, Ismael Furler, Raina Berg, Caleb Matthews, and Ashley Marshall. This presentation is part of our course, ECON 6353, Global Economy and Institutions, under the guidance of Professor Jacob Lopez. Today, we will explore Singapore's remarkable transformation from a colonial trading port into one of the world's leading innovation-driven economies. Before Singapore gained independence, it went through several key history stages. British colonial rule began in 1819 when Stamford Raffles established Singapore as a strategic trading post. This location quickly became a vital hub within the Strait settlements, connecting trade routes between Europe, India, and China. During World War II, from 1942 to 1945, Singapore was occupied by Japan, which was difficult and transformative period in its history. These early experiences under British and Japanese control helped shape Singapore's political, economic, and social foundation before it became independent. Following the events that shaped Singapore's pre-independence years, the nation entered a new chapter on its path to sovereignty. In 1963, Singapore merged with Malaysia, hoping to strengthen political and economic stability. However, due to political and ethnic tensions, this union was short-lived. By 1965, Singapore declared a full independence, marking the birth of a new nation. Just 2 years later, in 1967, Singapore became a founding member of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, reflecting its commitment to regional cooperation and development. Under the leadership of its first Prime Minister, Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore began laying the foundation for rapid modernization and economic reform. Now, let's take a closer look at Singapore's polity, its political structure and functions. Historically, in 1867, Singapore, along with Penang and Malacca, became a crown colony under the Strait settlements, governed by a colonial constitution with a governor at the head. Later, in 1958, the British Parliament passed the State of Singapore Act, transitioning Singapore from a colonial to a state. The Presidential Council was formed in 1970, and by 1973, it became the Presidential Council for Minority Rights. The primary function of Singapore's parliament is to make laws for the country. Members of the parliament debate and question proposed laws to ensure all perspectives are considered, and the House is responsible for approving the annual budget. Singapore's government operates under three main branches: the legislative branch, which includes the president as head of the state and parliament; the executive branch, which led by the prime minister as head of government and the cabinet; and the judiciary, made up of the judges who interpret and apply the law. Singapore's nation-building efforts has been closely tied to a state-centered economic approach. A key pillar of governance has been a strong focus on anti-corruption, stability, and the rule of law. This created a trustworthy environment for both citizens and foreign investors. The People's Action Act, or PAP, has been the dominant political force since independence, providing consistent leadership and policy direction. Strategic long-term planning has been central to governance, enabling Singapore to anticipate challenges, invest in infrastructure, and position itself as a global economic hub. While Singapore maintains strong state leadership, it also embraced market centered economic strategies, particularly export oriented industrialization. In the 1970s and 1980s, the government prioritized manufacturing and electronics, turning these industries into the key pillars of the economy. Policies are introduced to promote free trade and open port access, ensuring goods could move in and out of the country efficiently. These strategies attracted multinational corporations and substantial foreign direct investment, further fueling economic growth. In 2002, Singapore strengthened its trade relationships by signing a free trade agreement with Japan, opening new opportunities for exports and collaboration. Today, Singapore operates under a mixed economic system that blends government direction with free market principles. Government linked companies, or GLCs, play a significant role in key sectors, helping ensure strategic industries remain stable and competitive. Centralized economic planning is coordinated through the Economic Development Board, or EDB, which attracts investments and guides growth. This approach has made Singapore one of the most competitive economies in the world, ranking at the top of the 2020 World Bank Human Capital Index. Since independence, GDP growth has averaged about 7% annually, with some early years reaching as high as 9.2%, making it one of the fastest growing economies globally during that period. Building on its strong economic foundation, Singapore is now transitioning into a fully innovation driven, knowledge based economy. Government Smart Nation initiatives are the heart of this transformation, promoting digitalization across industries and public services. There is a strong emphasis on finance, biotechnology, and other high tech industries, sectors that are expected to drive future growth. Significant investments are also made in education and research and development, including programs like Skills Future, which help Singaporeans continuously upgrade their skills to stay competitive in the global market. Singapore's culture is defined by its diversity and inclusiveness. The population is made up of three primary ethnic groups: Chinese, Malay, and Indian, each contributing to the nation's rich culture heritage. There are at least five official languages recognized: English, Mandarin, Malay, and Tamil, reflecting the multilingual nation of the society. In terms of religion, Singapore embraces pluralism, with representation from Confucianism, Buddhism, Taoism, Islam, and Christianity. This diversity is supported by policies and social norms that promote respect, harmony, and mutual understanding among its citizens. In Singapore's early history, the economy followed a traditional system based largely on barter trade and agriculture. Economic activity was limited and focused primarily on survival, with communities exchanging goods and services directly. Trade was community based, especially within the strait settlements, where local exchange networks connected people and supported daily needs long before industrialization began. Following independence, Singapore shifted toward a market oriented economic system. The government implemented open trade policies and actively attracted foreign direct investment, creating a pro-business environment. Export-driven industrialization, particularly in the electronics sector, became a key driver of growth, positioning Singapore as a major manufacturing hub. At the same time, the country encouraged private enterprise and embraced globalization, ensuring its industries remained competitive on the world stage. Following independence, Singapore transitioned into a market-oriented economic system. Open trade policies and foreign direct investment attracted global businesses and strengthened its role in the international commerce. Export-driven industrialization, especially in the electronics sector, became a cornerstone of economic growth. The government also encouraged private enterprise and embraced globalization, ensuring the country stayed competitive and well integrated into the global economy. Singapore's economic journey moved gradually from traditional system to a market-oriented one. During the colonial period, economic infrastructure was established, laying the groundwork for future development. After World War II, modernization and industrialization began to take shape, setting the stage for greater productivity. The turning point came with independence in 1965, which enabled Singapore to implement policies focused on rapid growth and global competitiveness. After years of market-led growth, Singapore moved toward a more state-centered model to ensure long-term stability and resilience. Development became heavily government-led through strong institutions that guided national priorities. The Economic Development Board, or EDB, played a central role in strategic industrial planning, focusing on sectors that would drive sustainable growth. Government-linked companies, or GLCs, provided economic stability and control, ensuring that key industries remain competitive while aligned with the national goals. Looking ahead, Singapore's economy is focused on staying at the forefront of global innovation and sustainability. The nation is pursuing smart nation initiatives, leveraging artificial intelligence, financial technology, and other digital advancements to enhance efficiency and competitiveness. There is also a strong commitment to green growth, with policies and investment aimed at a sustainability and environmental responsibility. At the same time, Singapore is determined to maintain its position as a leading global economic hub, fostering trade, innovation, and strategic partnerships around the world. In summary, Singapore's success is the result of strategic governance combined with a forward-looking global outlook. The nation has transformed from a colonial port into a hub for worldwide trade and innovation. This achievement has been supported by a strong legal system, robust infrastructure, and a world-class education framework. Singapore has embraced globalization and digital transformation while maintaining a model for effective and inclusive development. Overall, Singapore's evolution stands a powerful example of how vision, policy, and resilience can create long-term economic prosperity. This slide lists the key sources used in our research, including academic articles, institutional reports, and reputable online resources such as Encyclopedia Britannica, the World Bank, and the Parliament of Singapore. These references provide essential historical context, economic data, and insights into Singapore's governance and development strategies. Again, this is Gian Kramer alongside with my group members and thank you for listening in our group presentation.